Welcome back to another episode of On the Porch with Front Porch Music. This week on the podcast, we had none other than High Valley's frontman, Brad Rempel.
They are one of the most decorated and mainstays in country music in Canada.
Multi-CCMA award-winning, ACM award-winning, JUNO nominated. They've been around for a long time.
A long time. They started their band when they were 4, he said.
Yeah, believe it or not, the music you hear from High Valley as far back as 2009 is not even their first album.
Not even close.
High Valley is headed out on tour in March. Literally, I don't know how many days they have off, but it's not many because they are touring all of March across Canada.
Coast to coast to coast.
It's the Paradise and Hurricanes tour, so if they're in your area, you should check them out.
So here's our chat with Brad Rempel of High Valley.
On the Porch with Front Porch Music, Brad Rempel. How are you doing today? Give us a lowdown.
Doing really good. We're at the studio today and got a generator running in the background. There's a little ice storm action happening in Nashville, and at my house I've got power, but my buddy whose house I'm at right now, and pretty much everybody else hasn't had power in 4 days, so it's kind of crazy.
That's crazy. Seeing the pictures coming out of Nashville and TikTok videos and all that has been kind of insane. I mean, we're up in Canada, obviously, and it's cold and snowy, but nothing like that.
Yeah, I'm from northern Alberta, and I've been down here for 16 years. Seen snow. Usually every year you get snow, a little bit, and it shuts the whole world down, and we make fun of everybody. And this time around, the freezing rain came from the sky and just stuck to the trees and just has been hanging on for 5 days and slowly dragging all the trees down, which then knocks the power lines down. So there was 300,000 people without power, and driving here today, every 2-lane road was a 1-lane road, and there's just trees. You just kind of weave through trees. It's like you're on a campground going for a walk in a park, except you're doing it with your car, and it's pretty weird. Yeah.
Ice is a totally different beast. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice.
Wow. So are you cold? Do we have enough heat in the studio right now?
Oh yeah, we're good. He's got a generator, so we're in good shape.
All right, doing the things we got to do. Good stuff. Well, listen, we haven't had you on the porch. High Valley is a mainstay in Canadian country, so why don't you just give us a quick lowdown of what the band is doing right now, thinking about all the things that are coming up for High Valley, and we'll dive into all those things.
Yeah, so we got this new EP coming out called Paradise and Hurricanes, so we're finishing that up. 3 of those songs, the title track, Paradise and Hurricanes, and Along for the Ride, and I'm Leaving You, are already out. I'm Leaving You's at Country Radio right now. I'm doing good. And then there's 3 more songs that nobody's heard yet that they'll be out between now and when the tour launches, and the tour's also called Paradise and Hurricanes. So everything's called Paradise and Hurricanes.
Love it. Brand continuity. Leaves out the confusion. Love it.
What's Paradise and Hurricanes? What is that as a concept, as a tour, as an album?
Yeah, as a concept, it's hey, if you want to aim big, if you want to dream big, you want to live in paradise, that's great. But just know that if you live in paradise, there's going to be some hurricanes. Nobody's ever built a house on the beach without getting hit by one. So same thing, if you got big dreams, trying to do this music thing, there's going to be some hit songs, maybe, if you're lucky, but there's going to be a lot that aren't. And relationships, if you're going to try and jump in head first and fall in love, there's going to be some heartbreak. And so yeah, it's just the realities, I think, of taking that whole Instagram highlight reel thing and saying, hey, that's the paradise, but it comes with hurricanes.
Totally. It's funny you say there are going to be some hits, but there's going to be a lot that aren't. We were going through the old catalog of High Valley, and I swear the amount of songs were that didn't go number 1. I actually have personal beef with country radio all of a sudden. I'm these are my freaking childhood. What do you mean, Have I Told You I Love You Lately only went to 12?
It's her childhood, Brad. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, very old, but I'm used to it. Yeah, it's crazy. She's With Me and Make You Mine both weren't very big hits in Canada.
Crazy.
And then when they became big hits in the U.S., then they got a second life in Canada. So they were kind of hits. Like for She's With Me, it was a hit in Canada in 2014, but then it was again in 2018. So just kind of keep the songs alive. I'm not complaining. I don't. Here's the deal. Like we're probably the kings of having number 2 songs, and we probably lost more Group of the Year nomination awards than anybody ever. But at the end of the day, if people are buying the music, streaming the music, learning the songs, I could care less what number that is. You know, nobody cares.
I mean, as we used to say in middle school, first the worst, second the best.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy to think about like an EP coming out and all of this, but all of the things that have happened over the years and the band and just all of these iterations of High Valley, like
yeah, and there's a lot of iterations of High Valley that nobody even knows about. Like people are always like, they go on Wikipedia and say, "Oh, I remember your first album," and they'll pick like a year, like 2010 or 2007, depending on what you call our first. And our first album was 1988 when I was 4 years old, and it was my mom and sisters and myself, and it was the Rempel family gospel cassette. And then a few years later, when I was 14, High Valley put out its first album in 98. They put out another one in 2000, 2001, 2003, 2005. And by 2007, we got our first record deal in Nashville, and a lot of people say that was our first album. Then in 2010, we got our first record deal in Canada, and a lot of people say that was our first album.
So many debuts.
Yeah, it's like we've been debuting. I remember when Make Me Mine was like 7 years old, and we were in London, England. And they're like, and now playing the brand new single from High Valley, Make Me Mine. I'm like, man, we're going to be brand new until we die. But it's all good.
I mean, somebody's always discovering you.
Yeah,
know, like
which I love. I love that.
That's the best thing. I was telling Logan before we jumped on that I remember working at a part-time job in like 2016, 2015, maybe even a little earlier. And I was obviously a huge fan. And I met this guy who was like a huge High Valley fan. And he's like, "You like country music?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I do." And he's talking about, he's like, "I really love High Valley." And I was like, "Oh my God, me too." I was like, "I'm going to date this guy. We're going to go to a High Valley concert. We're going to..." He's married with kids. When this never happened. This was just, it's all for me.
Well, hopefully there's at least one more High Valley fan out there.
Exactly. So I wanted to kind of go through the EP and touring. As a band, High Valley has been touring forever, as much as been releasing music forever, not as early as we think you have. And I think I saw a tour 2 years ago in Toronto, and it was just like a very whole experience still. And so we've been thinking about, High Valley's been around for all of these random things that have occurred in the music industry too, regardless of what shiny object is happening. High Valley is doing the thing and being a great live band and bringing a show to people that they actually enjoy. So tell me about the noise. Tell us about the noise of like industry shit versus like, we play a show, we want people to have a great time. And
you mean just like how we've kind of been constant while there's been like
exactly
coming and going? Totally. Yeah, I think that's what I teach my boys too. My boys are football players and basketball players and baseball players. They want to be college athletes, and I'm like, not every day is going to be your magical, perfect day, but if you can just stick around through the ups and the downs, kind of back to the Paradise and Hurricanes model, we've had a pretty slow trajectory if you think about it, but it all adds up, and we're so thankful. I mean, there's been, I wouldn't even call it noise. There's just people get excited about, we call it the fresh cookies or the shiny toy. It's like, I remember when Little Big Town was brand new. I remember when Rascal Flatts was brand new. I remember when Taylor Swift was brand new. And of course, those are the three examples of people who had incredible careers and still do. I also could name 1,000 artists that I remember when they were brand new. They were the best things since sliced bread, and they're now not doing this anymore. Some for good reasons, some for bad. So I've never viewed music as a competition. I love writing songs way too much. It's so much of a collaborative thing. So
That's probably the healthier way to look at it.
yeah, on the other side of this door right now is two of my buddies, and we're finishing the final verse in this song that we wrote today. And it's like tomorrow I'll be with three other people, guys and girls, and got a guy flying in from Norway to write with me, and a girl from Nashville tomorrow. So it's like it's a worldwide thing. It brings people together. You just write. You keep your head down and write songs. And if you get fortunate enough to have somebody pay money to hear you sing it, that's incredible. And so far, I've been able to do that for. I don't know that paying money is a good example about what happened in 1998, but I'd say since about 2010, for about 16 years, it's been going on, and I don't want to take that for granted. So maybe I need to tour more than I do. But right now, it's about every 2 years we come up and do a tour, and the rest of the year I'm just a sports dad driving my kids around and writing songs 5 days a week. But anytime we get up there to do this tour, it's always kind of it gives me this new life. It almost makes me want to do it more because it makes me remember how much I love it.
Does the last day of tour go like, oh yeah, I can take a break from this for a second?
Man, it's always bittersweet, and it's going to be in Vancouver this time around. Yeah, I mean, I got to be careful that my voice holds out because we're doing so many shows in such a little time.
Yeah.
So I'm not like a people person, but I am. So I got to be careful. I kind of turn into a bit of a hermit when we're on the road because I have to save my voice for the evening.
Voice, yeah.
So it's kind of good. I have a lot of pent up energy. When I see people in the evening, I'm ready to sing to them and talk to them.
That's amazing. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about how many dates you're jamming into 1 month.
You probably know better than me. I don't even know, to be honest.
We did just pull it up, but we were like,
your website is it takes a while to scroll to the bottom of that tour list.
Okay, so. There you go. Well, that's a good measurement.
Yeah. You're basically doing the whole country. So like that is a lot. That's a lot fast.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's just I refuse to tour during football season, which is kind of August, September, October, November. And then, of course, there's Christmas. And in the summer, you do the festivals. So we don't have that much time when we can tour. So February or March seem to be when it happens usually for us. And I made a promise to my kids years ago because when I was 12, my dad kind of made a lot of sacrifices to start helping me launch this band and really set the trajectory for the rest of my life. So I always said by the time my oldest kid was 12, I'd be there to help him with his dreams and not just be on the road in a bus. And so that's what we do. We just kind of try and be there for our kids, and that's what's allowed us to tour a little more sporadically, but very intense when we do tour.
Definitely. That's not a small thing to make the sacrifices and commit to, I'm not going to be touring when my kids' important things are happening and I am going to be football dad.
Yeah.
I know there's artists who can't do that. How do you make that how have you made that priority early enough that it's an expectation?
I think without sounding like an absolute moron, you have to acknowledge, first off, it's a huge blessing. It's not like a normal, hey, I'm only going to work when I want to. That's not it's just a massive blessing that people have supported us enough that the band could grow to a place where that's even something to talk about. So first off, I'm not an idiot. I understand that that's not like a normal option. I think for me, I was saying, even if the band does not grow to that place and I can't make enough money doing the band, I'm still going to do it. So basically, had Making Mine and She's With Me not worked and had stuff not happened, I guess I would have just been selling trucks or, building houses or doing something. So for me, it was never an option. And that's what I tell all these young artists. I'm like, hey, if you don't have kids, just go hard when there's nothing holding you back. Because in my opinion, once you have kids, they're not holding you back. They're just an obvious choice that you're going to make. So don't make yourself have to make that choice. Instead, for me, like, people ask for advice. If they ask for advice, I'm like, hey, the secret to being an overnight success is start your band when you're 12 years old. So by the time, 15 years later, when you're brand new, at least you're 27 instead of 57.
That makes sense. And now you do get to spend a lot of time writing, like you said, too. So how does the touring kind of give you a little, and does the touring give you some more inspiration and fuel when you go back to Nashville and get back into more writing rooms? Like, do you have a new...
Yeah, some of my favorite writing I've ever done has been on tour. So guys would bring out a second bus, or we'd have a second bus just for songwriting, and I'd have maybe 5 or 6 writers and a producer on the bus, and we'd be rolling down the road and writing songs before sound check, after the show, and you can find inspiration anywhere. To a fault, I'm a guy who kind of remembers everything that gets said ever. So my wife hates that about me, but it does come in handy for getting inspiration at shows, on the road, at home. Right?
Yeah, totally. Well, we're excited about obviously the new songs that are out, the EP that's coming, and seeing High Valley on tour this early spring.
Yeah, we're pumped about it.
Yeah, lots to do. Want to acknowledge one other thing. I don't know if this is your first, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have had your first number one in the U.S. as a songwriter and not an artist recently. So wanted to call that out and congratulate you as well, because that's
thanks a lot.
So exciting. Yeah, that's great. And
what
I know,
has that done, like, for you personally as a songwriter?
It's been amazing. I mean, you just got to put a different hat on and make sure that Josh is in control of what he wants to say, and I just try and add, the tempo or the vibes or the groove or lyrical stuff. He took me out on the Nickelback tour when he was opening for them, and we wrote a bunch on the bus. And we do a lot of. I have a farm out here in Nashville. We do a lot of retreats at my farm, and we actually wrote. I think he's recorded 3, 4, 5 of the songs from those retreats. So it's been so much fun. He's a good friend, and I'm just happy to see him do so well. And I get to be a songwriter on the hit, but more importantly, he's the artist, and it's a big deal for him, to have a number one song and to just have a big hit like that.
Absolutely.
How do you approach songwriting when it comes from, a High Valley song versus an outside cut?
Yeah, I think a High Valley song is it's going to be our thing. It's going to be faith, family, country, and it's going to be the stomp grass sound. And when it's somebody else, I just try and be a good listener and find out what they're looking for. And usually I've done my homework and I know roughly what their fans like them to do. But you can't force that to happen. Again, you got to also know what vibe they're in, what kind of mental space they're in, and you just try and be a good listener and a good little a little help in the room to steer things in a direction that works for them, works for their fans, but also I try and do whatever I'm best at, and if I can have a couple qualities that I think will help the song be better, I'll throw those out there, and then it's up to the artist to decide if they love or hate those ideas.
It seems like Josh may have liked a few of them.
So far, so good.
So we're going to be coming up to the end here quickly, but we've been doing this same question to a few of the artists we've spoken to. If you could revisit back into your discography and into your catalog, if you could revisit one of your older singles, what would that song be that you might even want to revamp or give bigger legs to?
Yeah, we had a song called "Trying to Believe" way back in the day.
Jenna, do you know it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if Stephen Wilson Jr. Recorded that song today, it would be a stretch.
You're not even the one who wants to revamp it. You're like, I got a song for you, Stephen Wilson Jr.
Yeah. I love Stephen Wilson Jr. I'm a huge fan.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, I love that. My personal would be, thanks for asking, both of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mine would be Let It Be Me, because that's the song that my crush and I bonded over. And you know what? Maybe second time's a charm. I don't know.
Hey,
Just me. Just me.
We got free suits for that. I remember that music video. We got endorsed by some kind of a clothing company, but they only did suits. So magically, we just decided to wear suits in a music video. Doesn't really make any sense, but I guess
let's roll with
when
it.
you're a starving artist, that's what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't give us jeans, but they'd give us tuxes. So why not?
That's a crazy.
Gotta wear something.
Well, Brad, thanks so much for joining us on the porch. And we're excited to see you on tour this spring.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for making time. And I guess we'll see you in a couple months.
And hopefully y'all get power again soon.
Yeah, we're planning on it. I hope so.
Thanks for listening to another episode of On the Porch with Front Porch Music. We're so lucky to be able to chat with artists and make episodes like this one. If you like the podcast, remember to rate and review us, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. It's the easiest way to support the show. Remember to check out frontporchmusic.ca to keep up with new music releases, exclusive artist interviews, and more. We'll catch you again on the porch in a couple of weeks. On the Porch is hosted by Logan Miller and Jenna Weiser, and produced and edited by Jason Saunders. That's me. Our theme song was written, produced, and performed by Owen Wrigling.